In today's video, we're going to be talking about Busch Gardens Williamsburg and their 2022 season, all the special events that are coming, as well as some announcements that came out about their new ride. Well, two announcements that came out about their new ride. Let's get into it. Welcome to another video, guys, and as always, thank you for tuning in. But before we start, my name's Eddie, and this is Eddytainment, your one-stop shop for all things theme park, travel, and holiday events. So if that's your thing, I'm like stumbling on my words. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos, and like the content. And as well, comment down below. I always like interacting with you guys. Starting us off, so I have basically the website pulled up in front of me. As of now, as of this date, we actually already experienced one of the events of this year, which was the Winter Weekends. I went to the Winter Weekends. One of the days I live streamed at the Winter Weekends. The other day I did a vlog. Those two are out already on the channel. I had a blast. So the first day when we went, we live streamed, walked around the park, got an opportunity to talk to all you guys, which kind of kept me really occupied. But I took you around, gave you a quick walkthrough, probably about like 40 minutes walking through Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Had a really good time interacting with you guys. But then I had to return because the reason why we did that live stream was because I forgot my memory card over at my house, and my house is 2 hours away, so I wasn't gonna drive back to get the memory card and do my vlog that day. I decided improv, and I pulled out my phone and we did a live stream. But when we followed up, we actually went back. The first day we did some of the shows where they had the the different animal, I forget the name. It was like advocates or something of that nature, where they were doing presentations and talking about different animals, their habitats, and how we affect their habitats and how we could help preserve their habitats, which that show was actually really cool. The guys that were up there, it was two guys, I forget their names, but they did a really good show as well. It was at the Globe Theater, and they had some really cool animals. But the second time that we returned to actually do our vlog, we were there at the Winter Weekends to actually walk around the park and do the scavenger hunt, which I enjoyed greatly. The scavenger hunt basically took you around where they had different silhouettes of different animals throughout the park with a bunch of clues on a sheet. It was completely free to do the scavenger hunt. Every time that you found one of the animals, you took a picture of this QR code that told you a little information about these animals. There were some animals that I didn't know existed, and a few animals that I learned a ton about. They all had these really cool facts about them, and that was the Winter Weekends. All right, so starting this weekend, January 28th through February 27th, we have my second favorite time at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, as well as my second favorite time at Universal Studios. I think it's my second favorite time at any theme park. The atmosphere during Mardi Gras is some of the best. They have cool food booths, they have all these cool performers going around the park, and you always have some pretty cool interactions, as well as delicious eats. But let's talk a little bit more about Mardi Gras and what it has to offer. We're currently reading off of their website, so if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about the events at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, make sure to check out their website. I'll link it down in the description of this video, and you'll see everything that they have from events, entertainment, and all that fun stuff. We're going to start off with entertainment. So as far as entertainment goes, we have Carnival, what is it? Imaginique. Carnival Imaginique. And that's the newest of the entertainment coming this year. As far as what is Carnival Imaginique, it looks like Carnival Imaginique is a new experience. Carnival Imaginique, an all-new Mardi Gras themed cirque spectacular in the Globe Theater. Thrilling aerobatics, artistry, and stunning acts of balance and strength are sure to keep you on the edge of your seat. Don't miss the new headlining performance at Busch Gardens Mardi Gras. Sounds pretty cool. It sounds almost like a kind of like a magic show. And I'm always for like the new shows. When we were there for their Christmas Town, their shows were the highlight of the event. Next, we have the specialty food and beverages. Now, I'm not going to go over everything because this list is extensive. I'll go over every like booth or bar that they have, and then maybe talk about just a few items. As far as the places that are going to be open, I'm going to read all those off, and then we'll talk about particular items that are in each one. So we got Grogan's Grill, we got Grogan's Pub, Cafe Lulu, Trapper's Show Grill, Das Edelweiss, I hope I pronounced that right, Das Festhaus Foyer Bar, and Bayou Bar. As far as where all these are going to be, I think Grogan's obviously is Ireland. Grogan's Pub is obviously in Ireland. Cafe Lulu, I'm not too sure. Trapper's Show Grill is over in New France, I believe. And then Das Edelweiss, I'm going to assume is over in Oktoberfest, as well as Das Festhaus Foyer Bar is over at Festhaus. All right, so as far as Grogan's Grill, we got some new items for those foodies that are going to the park for Mardi Gras for the food items. I'm going for a little bit of everything, but food items are definitely a highlight of the trip. So we got 3 new items over at Grogan's Grill. We got shrimp etouffee, fried okra, and grasshopper. The grasshopper, I'm assuming, is a drink. And given that this is a specialty food and drink menu, I'm assuming there's going to be a good amount of drinks. And that's what they have at Grogan's Grill. A lot of the other stuff is just returning food that you could have had there before, like the chicken and andouille gumbo, which I believe we had the last time that we visited for Mardi Gras. And then at Grogan's Pub, looks like we got King Cake Shooters and French 75. And it looks like all the items at the Grogan's Pub are drink items, not food items. Das Edelweiss, we have King Cake Cinnamon Rolls, we have mini Mardi Gras funnel cakes, and then we have Banana Foster's Cheesecake. I'm a huge fan of Banana Foster, and mostly when they like light it on fire or flambe it in front of you, it tends to be delicious. Let's see, then we move on to this Festhaus Foyer Bar. They have Cajun Bloody Marys and Magic Mimosas. Magic Mimosas sounds like the good one to me. I've never been a fan of a tomato alcohol drink. I will drink like V8, but not just like a drink with a celery stick in it. Last but not least, we're gonna go over what everybody is probably excited for, which is the rides, coasters, and kid-friendly fun. Myself, I don't have a kid yet, but down the road, when I have a kid, the kid-friendly fun is gonna be very useful. So, as far as big coasters that are going to be open, I believe we only have Verbolten and Apollo's Chariot. Aside from that, it's just going to be some of the smaller rides and more than likely more kid-oriented rides. So let's read it off. We got Oscar's Whirly Worm, Prince Elmo's Spire, Turkish Delight, the Battering Ram, Mac Tower, Der Autobahn Jr., Aeronaut Skyride, Flutter Sputter, Bug-a-Dug, Le Catapult, Der Whirlwind, Kinder Krussel, The Little Glider, Lil Clydes, Der Rotoboren. Reading these and trying to read them like appropriately is a little bit difficult. Sesame Street, Forest of Fun, and Land of Dragons. And that is everything that they have to offer. Well, a nice quick overview of everything that they have to offer over at Busch Gardens for their Mardi Gras event that is starting this weekend. All right, so after Mardi Gras, starting March 4th through March 27th, we have St. Patrick's Day celebration. I believe last year was the first year of St. Patrick's Day celebration. Obviously, this one, with Ireland being in the park, they do a lot in that area. It's a good time at the park. I really do enjoy it. I love getting my green beer while I'm at the park. But I do believe this one once again was an event that wasn't open for the whole entire park. So you were limited on the areas that you could go, but a great event nonetheless. You had performers over in Ireland, as well as going to Grogan's and get your green beer. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next event, which the next event is my screen moved. All right, so from April 1st to April 24th, we have Sesame Street presents Kids Weekends at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Now, this is one that is going to be much more family-centric. I know that it's a lot focused in that area of Sesame Street. I've never been to one of these. I think I will go this year, and I'll bring a kid with me. So there's kids in the family. I'll bring like a niece or a nephew so that they can check it out with me. and then give me an excuse to be there instead of looking like a 6'2" weirdo without a kid walking around a kid area. But so the next event is another one that I will enjoy greatly because I went to it last year. If you're an annual pass holder, you would get like a free drink item every time that you went, which was Busch Gardens Food and Wine Festival. Food and wine festivals are always awesome. Wine festivals themselves are pretty awesome, and this one goes right around my birthday. So April 28th through June 12th. My birthday is actually June 13th, so this ends a day right before my birthday. They're gonna have all different wines from around Virginia and around the US that you could taste, and I believe also around the world, because you have all the different like countries throughout Busch Gardens. So you'll have Ireland wine, France wine, all that you could try out, as well as a ton of food booths. All right, so after the Food and Wine Festival, starting June 17th through August 14th, we have Summer Nights at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Summer Nights is a really cool event, and if you haven't had an opportunity to experience Busch Gardens during the nighttime, this is the perfect time to go because you get to ride all the rides. It is a warmer time. Virginia does get pretty warm and pretty humid, so make sure that you dress appropriately when you're heading out. But the best part about this is typically at the end of each night, you'll get yourself a nice fireworks show, which is not something that you see very frequently at Busch Gardens. The only times that I know that they do fireworks at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, is during the summer nights as well as for New Year's. But their New Year's fireworks were I think at like 9:30, so way too early to actually celebrate New Year's. But the summer nights is, I believe, at 10 every night. And next, speaking of my favorite time of the year, starting September 9th through October 31st, you have Hallowscream at the park. So I'm hoping this year that they are able to add additional houses, also additional scare zones. Last year was much better than the previous year when it wasn't actually Hallowscream. It was named something else that escapes me at the moment. But they did a really good job with one house, the one that was in Ireland, Killarney Diner. That was the best house that I've ever seen at the event. But yes, that is my favorite time of the year. Just the ominous feel of Hallowscream. I love going to Hallowscream during Beer Fest because you start to see towards the end of Beer Fest some of the construction. Last year, that was a hit on the channel, doing the construction updates, and I did them like 4 weeks straight. I was at the park, boom, boom, hammering away at construction updates, and every single week they had some new construction updates for Hallowscream. So we look forward here on the channel for Hallowscream to return September 9th through October 31st. Not only did we have a great time, Hallowscream, the opening night of Hallowscream at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, is officially the highest viewed video on the channel. So that's always pretty cool. We've hit a point in this video where basically I just want to take a quick pause from your regular viewing and ask you guys if you're enjoying this. If you've enjoyed the content, make sure to like the video, comment down below, and let me know other things that you'd like to see me do. If you give me an idea, I'll try my best to film it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to show your support. Your support goes a really long way. But that being said, let's get back to your regularly hosted programming by Edutainment himself. Now, back to the content that we were talking about, which is Busch Gardens Williamsburg and their 2022 season, their events. We're about to get to the announcements of today as far as the new ride coming to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. But let's just jump over a couple of last events. So September 24th through October 30th. So this kind of goes on in subsequently to Hallowscream, but it's kind of a daytime event for the kids. You have the Count Spooktacular, which is a great time for the family, and if you have little ones, you could take them to the park to enjoy and kind of break them into the Halloween spirit without scaring their head off at Hallowscream. And then hopefully eventually after a few years of the Spooktacular, they can make their way on over into Hallowscream. I know my kid will be at Hallowscream as soon as he possibly can, but I will kind of taper him into the event so I don't scare him and scar him for the rest of his life. And from the Spooktacular, so once the Spooktacular and Hallowscream end, we move on to their last event of the year, which is November 11th through January 1st of 2023. And that event is celebrating the Christmas Town at Busch Gardens. This is an event that I've frequented now, and you know, it's kind of hard not to say that it's my second favorite, but I do like Mardi Gras, I think, a little bit more just because I like the atmosphere. But Busch Gardens Christmas Town is one of their best events. You get to meet Santa, you get to meet the reindeer. Sorry, I just hit the mic if it made a noise. You get to explore the whole entire park, and the atmosphere changes completely. That's one of the great things about going to the parks from one event to another, and when they're so closely like back to back, because you have Howl-O-Scream and then just a few weeks later, Christmas Town. So that is all as far as the holiday events that are coming to Busch Gardens Williamsburg this year. But today we had a crazy cool announcement. Something that we've all been waiting for. Actually, SeaWorld Parks, which is what owns Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, and Busch Gardens Tampa, they finally made an announcement, but they've made a lot of announcements of different rides that are opening this year. This is going to be like the SeaWorld year. But today we finally got the announcement of the grand opening for our favorite ride that has yet to open, which is Pantheon. We're going to meet all the gods. We're going to get to experience that cool, crazy top hat. And I honestly think that this is going to have a similar feel to the Velocicoaster over at Islands of Adventure in Orlando, which is currently my favorite roller coaster to date. Pantheon will be opening March 25th, officially to the general public. But the next announcement is, if you didn't know this, if you're a pass holder, I'm sure you already knew this. At the end of the year, I think it was from like September to December, Busch Gardens let all pass holders know that if they had 3 visits to the park within that time, they would automatically be entered for a potential to get a slot at a VIP event or a VIP party for the early opening of Pantheon. I myself am an annual pass holder, a huge advocate of having that annual pass, and was lucky enough today, after the announcement of March 25th being the opening of Pantheon, was able to get that email. That email went out. I don't know if it went out to everybody, but I was able to get a slot, a very, very early slot for the early rides of Pantheon. I'll be there on March 18th, which is a Friday, and I think a whole week ahead of when Pantheon will actually be opening. So I'm extremely excited. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on and checking out the video. I hope you enjoyed it greatly. I'll see you guys on the next one, but don't forget to ask yourself, have you been edutained?